Hey, Vito. Good morning, everyone. We'll get started in just a few minutes. Let everybody get time to roll in. Be right back. Okay, right on time at 7:30. So good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining the open house. Yay, 1 year. Talk about all of that. The disclosure and disclaimers are on the website regarding futures trading. does contain a substantial risk. You can and will likely achieve, no representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those discussed on the website. And also the CFTC Rule 441, hypothetical or simulated performance results. And please take a moment to review all of this before trading my strategy, any strategy, or getting involved in the markets, because risk is extremely central, front and central on being able to manage profitability. And we'll talk about all of the tools that are available within NinjaTrader platform and the Bloodhound platforms, Raven and Blackbird, that allow you to control smooth automatic entries and exits and setting a trade plan. So to execute when the condition is present. So we'll get into all that. And today I could not have requested a more picture perfect rally day in crude or in the Globex. So we'll look at the charts. I do a top-down analysis. First thing I do, though, is look at the calendar and look for the numbers that come out each day. And today is Friday, so I can just flip right to Friday and see that we have, again, FOMC members speaking, European Leader Summit, but no real numbers this morning. So that could be good or bad. We are flat ranging in the overall broader market, the S&P 500, and we'll look at that chart in just a second. Where we are on the market analyzer, the 6E has been selling off. It is the leader to the downside. 43% change. So there's really room for some more range expansion on this, up to 1% or so. Nat gas is selling off. And the 6B, of course, is selling off. The ES right now is currently selling off. And upside markets are crude and the 30-year and 10-year, and the yen looks like it's rallying back up. So we'll keep an eye on the upside and downside. What I like to do is focus on a market that's moving all four in one direction. So let's put this on the top leaderboard and change this over to the 6E real quick. So give the charts a moment to populate, and we'll talk about my strategy. Okay, so let's take a look at a few charts. First, we'll look at the daily top-down analysis. We've got the weekly daily 60-15 moving down. So really, I'm only looking for shorts. And we're breaking through ranges, breaking through lows, pivot lows. So this will probably, who knows, reverse back up, but we'll try for some more trend continuation to the downside. Let's look at the 60-minute, or 30-minute rather, and you can see that it helicoptered up here and has been inside the lower VWAP channel, but it looks like we're bouncing. Do you see the volatility flattening out? And that means it bounces up off of that. So we'll have to wait for price to get back inside here, probably, to take another attempt down at it. So I always look to see where I am on the charts before trying to see if I'm going to be interested in making a play. And I see that I've got the divergence on the momentum. Here's that double bottom. It could, bounce around in here a little bit, but right now it's certainly not matching the prior leg down. So that leads me to believe that we might expect a pullback. And so when I'm trading at a trend and I just want to go short, I can put the template. I have two templates. This is the high-low, or the high-low inflections template. I can trade that trend, or I can just take reversals, and this is what I prefer. I've got my candle set up to reverse. And so those are the signals for the 6C. Like I said, I could not have picked more picture perfect days. We've got some markets trending and I get to show off the templates. So I'm really happy about that, because sometimes we can just have sideways market action where it's not doing anything but chopping you up and down. So this is what I tried this past year to perfect, and it's just a simple pullback. Nothing more fancy than this, and try to get it when there is a trending condition. And there's so many different ways to define trending conditions. I mean, you can look that term up and try to find maybe 25, 30 people's different interpretation of what a trending condition is. That's why it's so difficult. So I've really super simplified it and put it color-coded on the dashboard. I was a litigation paralegal in my prior life, and we color-coded everything. Trust me. We were taught to color-code all of our document productions and trial exhibits, everything. So I was trained well and was a good paralegal, and so I brought that over in several different areas. I like the visualization that Bloodhound gives me, and I like having a methodology to trade and then take signals off of those trades with the software that I'm going to show you in just a minute. But I have two or three templates and indicators that I'm going to talk about. One is the larger, let me pull it up for you so you can see it, larger bar. Here it is. And this is my direction guide template. And this really started me off on my journey this past year of developing these Bloodhound templates to assist me with my trading execution. And I trade any of the markets that are moving directionally, if possible, as shown by my simplistic market analyzer. I've got it tricked out on a fast moving average, and when all four are going in the same direction, obviously it's not a hard decision to know which direction you're going to go. especially when you've got it printing the way it's printing on the bars. These are the larger bars that I use. This is a 50-cent range, and it works well with a lot of instruments. It works well with gold, crude, and euro, and it just allows me to get a sense that this is the direction that I want to go. This is my solver on my Bloodhound template. And when I'm exceeding my other conditions, the current high and low, the prior day high low, and the current open to close, I can change my, I have bonds, gold, energy, currencies is here. And this changes it to the RTH session. So this condition is only set up for the RTH session. Excuse me, just a moment, please. And I am able to visualize very quickly. I know that my overall direction may be long or short, given several different metrics that I use, but a lot of them are breakouts, volatility breaks, because I trade the volatility bands pretty much. And once I get a sense of the shift of the range or the direction that matches, and this is the component that I like the best, when they all start matching together, the market analyzer is going to match my higher time frame and my mid-size time frame will show me the entries, and then my short time frame, I can get inside the candle many different ways. I can just look at the inflection short. I can get every reversal short. If I just say I'm going to go short, give me the short reversals. I use this one a lot, the reversal short and long. I've got top reversals just to show the top of a market range, as well as bottom. And this is good in a flat market, not really a trending market, but when the market is flat, and you want to just trade those bottom reversals, it's a very good indicator to have, as represented right here, trading this bottom. An add-on to the template are my ranges solver, which is a little bit different algorithm than the high-low. And it is suitable for larger time frame, not smaller time frame. So use the high-low 6 on the smaller time frame and get the add-on for ranges on your larger time frame, and this will get you the meat. So just think of meat. It's pretty much a confirmed trade according to the volatility. So otherwise, the super trend short is something fabulous to have, just if you want to trade something when it's directionally moving, just do this. Or just, again, like I said, your inflection short or your reversal short. And this way you can have a defined risk. Again, it looks like these are great signals and they all would have been fantastic. Again, hypothetical performance disclaimer. This doesn't mean that it's going to turn around and continue moving directionally like this over the next 30 minutes. I'm not saying that at all, but this is defined risk. And let me show you what I mean. You have your entry is one tick below the bar's low, and you move it up to one tick above the prior pivot. So your risk is extremely defined. Here's your risk box. So as you can see, just you can definitely take your time on these larger time frames and try to get in and out on these trades and then manage it, trailing, scaling in and out, recognizing what I do, what is not included with my templates. With my templates, you get the bloodhound signals and the way I have it set up for a band to show you the volatility and momentum. But you don't get these other indicators you see on my chart, the VWAP or the Fibonacci or pivot points. Those are just personal indicators I use within the NinjaTrader control panel. You can, what is so fabulous about Bloodhound is you have the ability to put any indicator you want on your chart for support resistance. You can put a 1 hour initial balance and just show everything above or below it. You can, so many ways to slice and dice your data, and you can put EMAs on it. I don't use EMAs, but you can put EMAs on it. You can put whatever you want on it, and then compare what that looks like to the signals that you'll see on these Bloodhound templates. And let me show you the larger template again and go over those solvers again. I have the individual markets set up with a RTH filter of the open to close with momentum. And that's the filter, the one that's got filters with momentum. And so the currencies are set up for the RTH. The currencies filter changes it just a little bit, makes the requirement much more stringent. So having this filter on, let me put this on a crosshair. I could come in and see when it's blank, not to trade. If it printed a blank spot, I'm not going to take any more trades till it prints another bar in my direction that I want to go. That's trading momentum with the open to close. So if you don't want the momentum requirement, you can just put it on regular. And this will get going on a smaller time frame. It'll, of course, this is a huge 50-cent bar, so that's why you're not seeing much printed for the color. If I kick this down to a 25-tick bar, which is what I love to use this on, I can trade a 30-cent risk much easier than I can adjust to a 50-cent risk. So here is a 25-tick risk. So once you know the risk that you want to define, set it up to trade that. Look how nice that is. And you can enter this signal right here in also Raven and in Blackbird. So this is built into the direction guide template. So I use the obvious benefit of having a directional move last as long as possible, and then using these filters to time reversals, exits, reversal exits, and then you can also put either a trail stop or you can trail any indicator you want. I mean, you're not limited in Blackbird to just my template. My template will get you an ability to set an exit from one of the solvers and the entry from one of the solvers, but you're not restricted to that. You have much more opportunity with, let's put Blackbird on the chart and I will show you. You can put your own indicator or just self algorithm that you want. Getting a little bit of lag. Maybe it's because I'm streaming. So we'll see if we can get the platform up real quick. It's a very simple, sophisticated platform that will allow you to manage your risk. You don't need to have the Bloodhound template open when you're using this. Because the let me change my template. Real quick to the direction guide. Here's the platform that I was talking about. You can set up entries, exits, profit targets, exits, and change the way that those exits or profits are executed, and set your own indicator. Custom indicator will allow you to put whatever you want as an indicator in here, and select your indicator, slap it in here, trail it, add rules. I mean, you can do so much with this platform. So you're not stuck with just having what indicators are available on my platform, but you can put either you can have templates open with the direction guide platform, as well as the high-low inflections platform. So let me put the direction guide on here real quick. I had it on the high-low inflections, and so you can see Blackbird match. So if you just want to trade short direction, you don't have to put a signal on, but I can go down here and change this to long direction. Save the template, and that allows me to set up how many entries I want. I have 3 entries right now. So now I can come back in here, hit F5. So it will change the template on the dashboard. And once this populates, I'll open it back up and set that logic to my short direction. There we go. So those are my entries in Blackbird. Very simple. If I were to use this amount of risk, 30 cent, you can put whatever size risk you want, and my members will come into the room after they first get their software. They receive a week with us in the room, and we constantly talk about how we look to get the price falling within the volatility. And once we can get the price falling within the volatility, making the volatility behave like this, then we can come in and manage it much more better on a short-term chart and a medium-term chart. Hey guys, I'm going to mute everybody that comes in. There you go. So let me get back to the Blackbird dashboard. You can put whatever signal you want in Blackbird. And save them in your library so that you can pull up different Bloodhound templates and their solvers. And then you're not limited to just one template on a board. If you want to mix signals, you can do anything that you want. So trailing is something that is a good strategy, or just setting a fast in and out on these moves to take as much as you can out of the market and then close that, leaving a runner. So always put more in your first short-term target. And save it. You can rename it. You can open the ones that you've already saved. I'm just going to get back in here and show you the risk and the risk management. You can set a minimum 2-to-1 ratio. If the settings disallow that 2-to-1, if it would not be met, the trade will not execute. And how sophisticated is that? You can exit a trade on a certain number. If I'm running 5 contracts at a time and my total risk for the day is 3,000, I want to exit when a one trade loss exceeds a certain dollar amount, because I want the trade to go in my favor immediately, or exit so I can come back in and visualize what's going on with that market. In money management, you can group all live instances of Blackbird running, or only one individual instance. So when you get your template set up and you have your trade plan, your weekly, daily 60-15, you've gone in and studied your volatility levels, and you're of an opinion that you would like to participate in, directional price action on pullbacks, then this is the template for you. And then you can manage your max profit or losses with the risk platform, the money management and risk management of Blackbird. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. You can, again, set your net max loss rule. If it's 3,000 a day or 1%, you can assign just a percentage or a dollar amount. You can set your account size and define your risk per trade. You can enable the daily watermark. So if I've achieved $1,500 in profits, stop trading after 25% drawdown or withdraw, So, and that's also customizable on various methods of managing that number. You can schedule the times to trade Monday through Friday, or around an event risk. You can schedule to have that time period blocked out. Save these templates. So you can save a template per market to trade that RTH session by changing the session template. You can have a platform open to allow you to override any of the trade metrics that you've just defined on one dashboard, so you don't have to go inside and hunt and look to see where that setting was. There is a button that will pull up everything for you so that you can tweak on the fly. Here's your options button. Alerts. I don't use alerts. Help menu. The documentation's online. They have a fantastic website for training. They give you so much training. There's a million videos on YouTube. And there's a Thursday group that Zach hosts every week. Once you order Blackbird, you can get on that training list. My 30-day introduction to Blackbird is running out. I will check with Zach and Jeremy to see if I can get an extension for 30 days. So if anyone would like to test Blackbird, shoot me an email and I'll see if I can get you an extension on that trial period, 30-day trial, to test this out. But this is a separate platform and it's for order and risk management. And the risk management and the money management are the most important components of trading. And once you understand your methodology and what you're trying to achieve, you can then code that very easily in that platform and manage your trades much better. So you have the power and the control over what happens to these trades. So finding a market that's trading directionally. I also use other indicators to help me make decisions on timing. And I will use, like I said, market profile, volume profile, actually, not market profile, volume profile, VWAP. The volume profile, I put 2 clouds on it. I have a blue cloud for Globex and a yellow cloud, I call it a yellow cloud, which is the 25% value area of the current session. Just a 20. And this to 1400. And apply, and you can see the 25% or the middle, I call it the river of gold, the middle of where the RTH value has been trading. And price will often inflect on that level, pull back to the top of that level, and then turn around. We see it happen all the time. So there's your 2 inflections. And so when this bottom reversal at the bottom VWAP occurs, price will likely come into one of these 3 volatility levels on the volume profile. And here is the lower standard deviation at S1 and yesterday 127. So when you start combining these day levels, it helps you understand these cycles of ups and downs and know where levels are likely to trade. I also, in addition to VWAP and volume profile, have a delta ladder that allows me to see the delta coming into the market that I put my Bloodhound template on. So I've got my template on a small, fast bar so that I can see these changes and see these volume levels, where the high volume is, where the low volume is, and how the delta's interacting around those areas. This is just a visual aid for me as the VWAP and volume profile are. This just shows the order flow with the commitment of traders, which trumps delta, by the way. If you get a red bar, a red delta, but a green COT change, commitment of trader change, that COT change is going to trump that delta every time. So you'll be on the lookout for that if you have this methodology. And so you can see the COT change usually before that direction change occurs for me. So there's a little bit, sometimes some early indication, especially when you get up to the levels up here and those zeros start printing off. So try to get behind a move once you see some extra volume and momentum delta difference come in. The delta difference is the difference between the bid and the ask. And I have my own proprietary methodology of using um, the indicator, and I have customized it further with the Bloodhound templates to help me with my visualization of that directional trading opportunity. Obviously, when you're looking at a ladder that is entirely red, don't be looking to go long. Not yet. I mean, so this is fantastic for me. And here's the VWAP, the current developing VWAP, which is different than the daily VWAP, a little bit algorithm different. And I apologize, the delta difference, I have several different ratios that I use for my ladder. So the key for me to look at the ladder, the blue volume is the exact volume, but the red is that ratio that I use, and the center is where the current bar currently is. And you can gauge participation. Sometimes on a different market, there would be a lot of green down here supporting this market, but there's no green down here supporting this market. It's just all red. So it would be good to look for price to complete its little pullback. And here is the area, the bottom of the river of gold. And I'm not sure if this is the time to get short or not, but we'll see what happens if price turns around and comes back down for another entry short. But just using the signals, if I can just, relax, drink my coffee, have a bar, take a signal for me so that I don't have to do anything. I guess what I have to do is figure out long or short, and is it moving and not going sideways. Crude just opened up. I can show you crude for that open, since we're at the bottom of the market retracing on this. Let me flip this back over. And once it populates, I'll need to change that yellow cloud again. Give me just one moment, guys. Okie dokie. The 30-minute is actually in a long trend, and momentum is up above zero. So I would not, and we're here coming to the third day low. So this could be an inflection up location is what I'm trying to say. So I will be on the lookout for a bounce. Also, here is the daily. Always look at a top-down analysis. We're coming into these wicks and my first level of support. So that's another reason for me to suspect I might see a little bit of buying action somewhere pick up. But I do have a second level of support down here at 49.50 about. I don't think it's going to get that far, but we'll see. There's no news today, and here is a turn. I don't know if this is enough of a base to build a reversal on, but we are below the cloud. Oh, I need to fix that cloud. Hang on. right, got the RTH session time put in there. So be a quant, make sure you control your RTH times, know your levels. Oh, here's that turnaround. But we're daily 60-15 to the downside. So let's wait and see if we get another downside move. Sometimes price, like I was just showing you, could be at a location where it's just making a turnaround, a market structure. And my system doesn't trade that. I'm looking very specifically for trending conditions like this downturn is. I don't want to trade the turnaround. I want to get back on board again when it turns after the turnaround. So here's the longs. Or just take the super trend. Or just the reversals. There you go, got them all. So just set up for pullbacks. Right now we are maybe coming off of a bottom. Maybe, don't know yet. This could push down further. So I've got to be ready just in case. But we're actually in an uptrend on the daily is what I'm trying to show you guys. We do want to be looking for longs. And the problem with trend strategy is when you are making that first lower time frame reversal adjustment back into the direction of that higher time frame trend, it takes a few cycles before the bars will turn themselves around for me to get back involved in it. I want to see this. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see anything else. So I'm not interested in trading long. When I'm in a downtrend. So we'll see what happens. Market just opened 10 minutes ago, and a lot of trading is just being patient and waiting. I try to be proactive, monitoring several different charts. It looks like ES is selling off really well instead of crude. Nat gas is selling off. Crude is the laggard, so this probably is not the right market. So we could either put it on gas or back on the 6E or the ES. I'll show you the ES. Hey, Heinz. Good morning. Hey, Heinz. Good morning. It's streaming on YouTube, so I think YouTube puts a recording up there. Google Hangouts or someplace it records it automatically. I mean, Google is just fantastic. Part of what I started out doing, I had an iPage website and changed over to Google Blog. So simple. I'm limited. I don't have the fancy camera action that people are using for their front of their website when you first go onto people's websites. But I think I have everything I need on it, and it is so super simple to take care of and use. And I don't want to be fighting a Joomla template or anything like that, so it worked out best for me. So here is the ladder for the E-mini, and what happens on a reversal is you'll get that caught change. You see how we were in a downtrend and it changed to the upside? And if it's on, you know, just a reversal or a pullback, and you obviously want to trade in the direction of the overall trend, so you'll be looking for short trades on your lower time frames. So I can put this on short and just take signals over here short. And I need to add some data to my when you see the bars printing large like that, you have to download some data, tick data, like a day or two of tick data, and that will fix your tick bars. It'll be nice when later in the next quarter, as I work towards getting everything available for Ninja 8. Bloodhound is not available for it yet. I think Ninja 8 will be released at the sometime in November, some maybe December, is what I heard. So when Bloodhound moves over, you can still keep 7 up separately. It doesn't go away. 8 is a totally separate platform. So that fixed my tick bars, and so now you can see the entry signals are just phenomenal. Again, this is the E-mini, and you can control your risk. This is 2 points. 1 and 7 is 8, so that's 2-point entries. If you want to make it a 3-point or 4-point entry, you can probably get even better entries on that, and you can control that through your medium time frame. This is 20 ticks. Manage your risk. So you can, customize it an 8, 16, or 5, 15, 6, 12, or 7, 14, whatever numbers you want to use. Just realize that that is the amount of risk that you're associating with that bar, and then you can put that risk over there in Blackbird and get a little trading thing going so that you can put this across multiple markets. After you test it, sim test it first, sim test it for a while, make sure you get used to what you're doing and recognizing these opportunities, and then pulling up a market and then trading that direction when you can on these lower time frame entries, or use a higher time frame entry for even larger trade position holding. So just depending upon what kind of style you want to trade. Also recognize, while I'm just chatting here aimlessly waiting for this reversal to come in, and I'll talk about reversal locations in just a second, you're subject to just never knowing exactly what the market's going to do. If a higher time time frame participant comes into the market, they're not going to care that your S1 is sitting above the yesterday low or that's sitting right below the blue cloud. They're going to steamroll past you, have you sit up and shake your head, and as soon as you try to get in on that move, they're going to slam it down the other way. And then they'll flip it around and move it back to wherever they want to, because they can, and they do. Occasionally you'll get inside of one of those higher time frame moves, and the best thing to do is just wait, sit back and try to find that larger candle direction, and then just get in the mosh pit is what I call it. But lower your position size when the volatility is much greater. And I do think that we're going to start getting into some volatile market action again, as things settle in after the election. So that'll be good. But the market action looked pretty good overnight for no reports. But it does look like this is coming up back into the value area and against the weekly daily 60-15. So this is, sometimes you get these reversion to the mean trades back to yesterday close. And so there it is, reversion back to the mean, bottom reversals. But don't use that in a strong trend. You can get rolled over. And the market is just sideways dead. Don't know why I have it on this. Maybe we can get down into here and then watch it bounce back up. But we're definitely in this uptrend, but we're in a range between these volatility bands, and we're breaking down past this other volatility. But I don't think anything's going to happen today. I could be wrong. You never know what's going to happen on any given trading day. News could come out, that shocks the market and sends it reeling one way or another. But use your ATR and 10-day or 3-day, 5-day, whatever you're comfortable with, weekly VWAP, but always the weekly and daily candle. I want to talk about that. We can chat about that while we're looking at these volume profile levels. The 30-minute on this is coming up on the weekly VWAP. So none of us knows if this is just going to keep pushing down or reverse back to the mean. The indexes obviously are a reversion to the mean. And so we'll need to see if this continues past the yesterday low and down, or gets back inside for that trade to the previous close. But the weekly is what I wanted to show you guys. We're just in a range between 2107 and 2186. So what do you do at the bottom of a range? You buy until proven wrong. So until this breaks 2108 to the downside, I'm waiting with bated breath for price to start taking off to the upside again at any time, but I don't know. Right now it's weekly daily 60-15, and that's the trade plan for today. Notwithstanding, an obvious overbought or excuse me, oversold condition or apparent. But it can go down to S2. It sure can. Bonds are moving up. Euro is moving down with the ES. So let's see what happens in about 2 minutes, 4 minutes, and I'm going to get a cup of coffee. Be right back. Hi, Heinz. Heinz is saying that Google has a better resolution. YouTube has a bad resolution. Sorry about that, guys. Go to your Google um, um, page, the Google Plus page. Is this the ANA colored Bollinger Band you use? No, that's not a Bollinger Band. Um, I don't use Bollinger Bands or EM moving averages. The blue is the 25% of the ETH session, the Globex session, the extended trading hour session. So the yellow is the RTH session. And it helps when we go back and look historically how the price will respond within these areas. Do you see how it came back here and touched the yellow cloud and then bounced back out? Here was, yeah, it's just how they interplay. In the crude market, it's more, well, here we go. See, it uses the blue cloud just like it will the yellow when you get a trend in Globex. There's your signals. So knowing where to go long or short is key, and knowing what bar size you're on trading. Obviously, a smaller bar size, you're going to want a much shorter profit target. You want to trail your larger bars, not your smaller time frame bars. Your smaller time frame bars are for going inside the larger time frame for pinpointing those executions if you need to. Otherwise, you just enter on the signal with your defined risk and hold it until a 2-to-1 or 1-to-1 profit target or 3-to-1, whatever you've decided that you can use after you've had the chance to see how the market is trading and look for directional markets to trade. And I will help you understand that. Let's put gold up, or let me put crude back up. Let me put a new chart on here. I would do this with the E-mini, but you know the E-mini's been walking sideways for months. Well, all year, basically. No trends there. Wait a second for this chart to populate. I think it's a little slow because of the streaming. Here we go. All right. So let me get the indicators off the chart. This will help clarify things. Okay. Here we go. So this will help you understand much better what we're looking for. We're looking for a vertical down move where price is inside this outer volatility level. So when you match a trending condition, long or short, so here's your long opportunity. So wait for the time, between this time period that you're trading and available to take trades in here. And you can trade either just directionally, see the above zero, the super trend band, just trade directionally on a lower time frame bar, like the, let's say, 3.6. It's a pretty small enough bar that will hold a little bit of a trend. But more so than trend, you're looking to capture those volatility areas. And so you can even put this on a 1-2 and get very micro, tick for tick, on what a market has done. You'll get more noise on a smaller tick bar, but you get a lot of opportunity. So when you can match the direction you want to trade, inside this, you know the direction you want to go. I'm just giving this as an example. Put it on these smaller bars and take it in that direction when they set up, when it's moving directionally, and using Raven or Blackbird. Obviously, you don't want to trade short here. Those are long trades. These are shorts. But when the market is moving sideways, don't trade. When it's moving sideways, you want to make sure you are aware of that and really try to just avoid it if possible. But if you were like sitting here saying, show me a bottom reversal, I mean, sure, I've got that set up. But I usually try to stay away from the range. But I have something here. If you do, this is extra, the ranges are an extra edition, and they're not meant to be traded on these small bars at all, big bars. So use your top and bottom reversals, or just use your reversals. But this 1-2 size is much too small. So I'm going to put this back to match the delta ladder. Here we go. So that is a representation of the high-low inflection solver, and using the various methodologies to trade in and out of these trends. Just basically being able to capture the amount of risk that you want to trade, and using that methodology of open to close. I don't think we've talked about that a lot. If the weekly bar, if your volatility and you're in a downtrend, put, extra attention to that market. If your market is transitioning like it is here, it's going to be choppy on that transition. We haven't really started the flush down move yet. We're still in an uptrend on the E-mini, so it's not a good market to trade short. It's likely to get another like spike down like this and pull up. So be waiting for that. But otherwise, try to find a market that is in your direction, trading directionally, and trading the way that that is set up on the higher time frame trend, so that you have more of the wind at your back. And that'll give you a chance to try to take something that is moving in or out of an area. We are at the bottom of the weekly VWAP and getting tails on those 30-minute bars. So let's see. Let's put this on the 6E. See how oversold it is. Well, we were coming up to the VWAP. I need to put this back on the ES and give it a chance to move back down. Sometimes I get too impatient. And what I'm working on is automating this strategy. People that may not understand why I'm doing this with these templates, it is sort of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If I can get people to trade this strategy, the markets will move better in that direction. Have y'all ever traded the Asia session? where you'll find a market breaking out in the Asia session all the time. If you go back and look at your 15-minute chart and I can put up a bloodhound solver. Let me do that real quick to show the Asia session. And then you can see that market makers will go in that and move the market because there's no volume fighting against it. Find your spots wherever they are, if it's in the Globex session or the Asia session, that ranges are expanding, and try to set an algorithm to trade part of that using these methods that I'm showing you with Blackbird for your risk and order management, and then your Bloodhound templates for your entries. Or you can just use Blackbird to trade whatever indicator that you want. If you want to trade a MACD cross, you can do that. I would not recommend that, but you could do that. So let me see if I can put a solver up real quick. Time session solver. And I'm going to restrict the time. I'm going to create a new template. I'm going to call it Asia. And start it. Okay, so that didn't take but a second. So I've got my logic. Let me put a all right. Let's take a look at what happened on the 6E during the Asia session. We put it on a 5-minute chart so we can see it better. Maybe a 15-minute. All right. Here the range expanded. So here was a winner, winner, chicken dinner, and then that started the move. Asia was flat, and so was the session. Got some range expansion here a little bit. And here this really kicked off a move. So this is what I'm talking about. When things move out of a range, exactly here, see it moved out of the volatility, hit VWAP, and then rolled over. This is what I think higher time frame participants are doing to move price in that direction. So when you can find these opportunities, this looked like it failed, but I would not have traded into falling volatility at all. My setup is with trend here. So take your breakout and then put a with trend solver on here. But various markets, so see here, that sent it out too. I mean, don't be afraid to trade these other time frames. Watch to see the different session times that are seeming to move price, put those levels up. You get the levels with the templates and just do your homework. I mean, screen time is part of this. And don't be afraid to jump in. The market's pretty much a 24/7 now. And if the higher time frame people can push price where they want it easier during one time period than another, then trade that time period if you can. So here we're on the bottom of the weekly Keltner, coming into this area. So I'm also looking for a bounce. See how flat it has been. I don't like, there's no really trend on the euro. So these occasions are rare. It looks like it tried 3 times to get above the River of Gold, and now it's failing. But it's flat. This is not trending down. This is pretty much a little weird sideways box that it's now coming out of. So I would want it to come down. Here's your impulse move. So I want to pull back and then get short on this sweetheart trade. But it's definitely breaking out of the range. It'll just come back in and test that range. And if it rejects and moves back down, we'll be in a good position to capture that move. But because this is the euro, I wouldn't be surprised if it moved up to the blue cloud first. So we just have to watch and be aware of these levels, and having other tools like your VWAP levels, Keltner channel, anything that you can give yourself to realize price is extended. Are we still making lower lows and lower highs, or have we flipped around like this appears to be doing? Oh, that's crude. And this is just chop suey. Nothing here to trade yet. Bonds are rallying. The yen is rallying. The yen is a pretty cool instrument to trade. Sets up real nicely with the templates. The River of Gold is flat as a pancake. And we have some support. So I'm going to move this over to the yen and see if there's anything happening here. Let this chart populate. So I spend so much time just trying to find a market to trade. We're in the right time slot. Just give me a second and I'll find one. Okie dokie, here's the yen. And again, what I like to do is after I've noticed that it's moving directionally, um, this yen will not print the momentum indicator because of these zeros. But I want to try to find where the market is printing within the volatility bands first. And so it was printing down here and now it's flipping up. And we're reversing a little bit on the VWAP, which is flat weekly. So let's see if it pulls back in to this range area. Thereabouts. Or if it continues moving up. Have not quite made R1. So it could bounce again here or come down to our VWAP. I need to change the properties to the volume profile. And the currencies are about 720 to 14, I think. Something like that. Close is close enough in trading in horseshoes. And so now we're getting bounces out of this area where the cloud is above the previous cloud. We have not come back to test the previous cloud's point of control, which is on VWAP in the blue cloud, and that looks like where the market is heading. If we don't bounce here, we're going to continue just ranging all the way back down into this blue cloud. So you just have to be careful and see if you have a trade setup opportunity in the direction of that higher time frame trend. If not, then you regroup, reassess, and try to find something moving in that direction. So here's my first pullback bar. So since this is pulling back, it could bounce here and just bounce back up. Don't get me wrong. That would be lovely if it were to do that for us. But unfortunately, I think it's probably going to come back to these lower levels. Let's pull up another market. I want to go, I know I sound like I'm split personality. The 6Z is starting to move back down. It did break that volatility level. So I don't know if we'll get a trend continuation back down. I'll be watching it. And if it does turn back down, I'm going to monitor that. But the yen is in a good place for a breakout to the long side again. or it's going to break down and come down to the 200 EMA, most likely. But we are at a bounce level on this volatility band in an uptrend. Excuse me. One thing about order flow and using these indicators is how transitory the signals actually are. Because case in point, we have this flat delta right now on the yen. Testing one,
Testing
two.
one, two.
Can you hear
Can
it?
you hear me?
Nope. Oh, yes. Okay, fantastic. I don't know. I apologize. Something in the settings got changed. It just jumped up there and changed itself in the Google Hangout settings. My sincerest apologies for that. So, thankfully, I told you how much I love Google. Right there, troubleshoot audio. My apologies. So, what I was saying earlier, I apologize. You must have missed so much. Trying to find a market that is trending is half the battle. So, have some charts up, and when it's just going sideways and not doing anything, that's not really conducive to the system. It looks like the market's trying to turn around, maybe here on the E-mini and go up. You just can't tell, but right now it's not in a down move. So finding a market that's trading according to the direction of the market analyzer, when a trending condition is present, is half the battle. And then managing your trades in the platform by having a trade management plan is the other component, because you can mute you, Hines. You can very easily be in an uptrend, a valid uptrend, and lose money if you don't trade it correctly. Um, Recognize how much risk you need to trade, what size um, bar you're trading, um, for the dollar amount, or what seems to be holding volatility, and that's what we'll look at now. So right here you can see that the volatility band's holding the trend, and our support is at yesterday VWAP. So if it comes down here to test this support again, a good location to get long would be when it bounces back long at the support area. If it breaks through support, that uptrend is over. And so that trend condition is no longer valid. So right now we're breaking out of the volatility level to the upside. And when that happens, when we get these volatility breaks, sometimes they just run and sometimes they'll pull back. And when they break a volatility and pull back, this second entry is a very good one to get in. This one was a little deeper pullback, so you have another mini micro coming up here. So I would expect this is going to come back also, but it could just continue running. Here's your levels, your intraday levels to trade to. And on the website, I explain how to use the prior pivots. It's not the right. Here we go. As your stop location, and your you can trail either the first volatility level or the second, depending upon what kind of price action you're seeing. When you see a really strong vertical push out of a volatility level, that next pullback is just like a fantastic trade to hit. And then again, you need to put your risk behind that point and see how long you can hold it for that one-on-one or two-on-one opportunity. And I like to trade on the higher time frame as much as possible, recognizing my prior day. If I'm trading inside my prior range, there's going to be more rotational trading up and down than we would have if we were trading outside a range. Here's outside a range. See, we're going outside that value. First pullback, and then we take off. So when you recognize the opportunity when you're trading outside a range versus inside a range, you can adjust your profit targets much smaller inside a range. Um, it don't be swinging for the fences. Take your profits on these pullbacks one-on-one. Short profit opportunities. So always flip through the markets trying to find those outside range opportunities. So we're going to leave the beans and let's go back and flip around here. Nat gas has been selling off big time. Poo. Let's take a look at that. You know, it's Friday. Traders have largely made their money for the week. There was no news out today. It wasn't the best day to be trying to break ranges. So this is more of a demonstration open house. So we'll see what nat gas has been doing. And the E-mini looks like it's breaking above the VWAP, breaking above S1, moving up instead of down. So it's just still ranging. So this looks good. We have a reversal opportunity coming up. Let me put this back on 8 o'clock. We might get a trend continuation trade. Yay. Okay, so we had a nice flush down in gas. On our flag right now. Still doing our flag. So when this rolls around to the downside, up in here, all right, so there's your resistance. Maybe we will be able to get this down move. We're in a nice downtrend. So let's be patient and wait and see if we can get this set up. You see the red delta? That's what you want to see overhead. Here's our 25% of our blue cloud. Maybe it'll break through my level a little bit. And let's wait and see if we can get a nice downtrend here. Here is the river of gold below the blue cloud. And we're coming into some slowness, slowing down on this flag retracement. So trading flags is really good. Day trading technique. And maybe we can get the reversal a little bit early before the break of the volatility band, but the break of the volatility band really signals the flag. continuation of that downtrend. Let me put it here. And there we go. We broke the flag. So that's very good. Now we wait for our sweetheart trade. So we broke the flag. I want that pullback into my down volatility bands, if possible, and get that second trend continuation to the downside. Crude is rallying up. We are in a weekly uptrend. Well, let me put that. We are rolling over on this volatility, but in an uptrend. So I always hate, it's like a salmon fishing upstream. Well, we're fishing downstream in an upstream. So we're salmon in this market. It's not the wind behind your back market. So this thing theoretically could get inside this previous wick and bounce back up. We want to see a continuation down, but let me get that Asia session off my chart. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Nat Gas turn around, guys, and go higher, because we're in that uptrend on the weekly. We're at the bottom of the prior week's bar. And crude is rallying. So just in case we don't get that second trend continuation, that's what's going on. See, here's crude doing a big rally. This is retracing here a little bit. This is hard to say because we've got the flat volatility now on the bottom, so this is not a very good setup. Crude's taken off to the upside. Yeah, and yeah, let me put this on crude real quick. See if we can get into a long trade here. My apologies again, guys, for the audio. I don't know what time it stopped. It looked like it stopped around 9:08. Heinz and lasted for 5 minutes. My apologies. Have no idea how that happened. UWEP at 99. I take a look back at the calendar and see what was on the events for today. As I recall, there was nothing. EU Leaders Summit at 11 o'clock, so nothing. Baker Hughes recount coming out a little bit later. So here's our move to PP and BWAP 51. We're moving sideways, so it needs to keep going. A lot of volume coming in here. We're sitting on the high volume node. Caught flipped over. We're at VWAP and the volatility band, upper VWAP. but this isn't bouncing. Left some traders holding along. Here comes the delta. On previous 25% value, what was it? Globex value low. Or something value high. This should be coming in further to the downside. And that's why it's so important to use your higher time frame volatility. And set these bars up so it's holding the volatility band. So this might be a little bit too narrow. So I always try to match the bar inside the volatility, and that way I know how to trade it. At the upper deviation level, we're going a little bit sideways and back into the value, it looks like. There we go. Trying to catch a bid. Looks like it's trying to roll over. Just going sideways. Caught changes. VWAP is at 50, 59. And we're coming into 10 o'clock, so okay, we can wait for our PB. And we need a PB pretty much coming up. I don't want to be trading long below that yesterday close. So here is our delta. Want that candle to close. And I'm just waiting for the pullback. Yesterday close and the river of gold could be a possibility. Here is our previous support resistance area. If it's pulling down into here, would make sense. But I think we've already been on top of that level a couple of times. So now we broke above it. It might pull back in it and then test it and come back out. Here's some divergence setting up. Well, just made it down there. Got some divergence. Let's see if it turns around here. See if we can get another buyer right here, or it's going to come down into the resistance area down here. Maybe we can get a trade that could go up and out and break this volatility level. VWAP at 50.59. Need these levels to close though. I've seen them flip around before. See if it grows a pair and takes off. Got some delta. We need to get out of that blue cloud. And start trading above that high volume node. Well, price is just sort of sitting here, isn't it? Got a lot of green delta. Must be one big order sitting up here. We can't see. Not much forward progress today, and I'm running out of things to say, so part of trading is sitting here and waiting. We're not in a trend. We are coming up to weekly VWAP and a range. Here is a trend, and we're in a range. So just trying to get something to work. But I think you guys get the point on this. Gas is still selling off to the downside. Dang, it really took off. Stay with this long a little bit. But it's just chopping in and out, not really moving, obviously. And it looks like it's breaking down. There it goes. Coming back into my level. So right there, I'm looking for a bounce, thereabouts. Nope, it's still selling off. VWAP at 50.60. Yes, I agree, Randy. You don't just trade for the sake of trading. Better to wait for the money. It's hard enough when the odds are in your favor. It absolutely is. I mean, this is a ranging market, and no telling it's inside the previous day. It is not the right setup. We're coming down to all these wicks where we know the market's going to turn around and bounce. It's just a matter of where is it going to turn around and bounce. Here it did it exactly on the yesterday low, but it's probably going to get inside these wicks and then bounce here and move up. I would imagine that a bounce down here at the 12:30 to 1:30 close would be a really good trade. So this was not the right market, obviously, to watch. Better to find a trending market. So let's flip it over. Let's see what else was trending today. The bonds were trending. What else? The nat gas was trending down 3%. Let's just take a look again at gas, and so we can see what we should have been looking at. Kind of hard to do this with being limited with the workspace, the one workspace. That's something I'm going to be working on. I'm going to have multiple workspaces streaming in a virtual server. So I'll have all of these charts ready to go. So all I have to do is just flip to that workspace on the trader workspace. Instead of me doing it here, I can just do it as a view on multiple workspaces that are already open. So here was the sell down. Very nice. The bands were not, they're broken. So this gives me a good, well, no, this wasn't broken. It's just the white lines covering it. This second band was broken. So what I want to do is make the bar a little bit bigger. Let's see if that can fit it inside. Not quite. One more. There we go. That captured it better. And it's also inflecting on my level, as you see. So, and crude is bouncing. So once you have a level like that, then you can just set it to take the trades automatically in the platform. So we're in a little bit of a bounce here, and it might be kind of bottom bouncing that level, that cloud. Maybe we can set up for another trade down. Now that would be awesome. Here we go. This coming into the upper volatility band. So again, when I'm Trading, this is what I want to see right here. The band's in my favor. And just being patient and waiting for that to set up for you with the market pretty much encapsulates everything that I'm trying to accomplish. Obviously, Friday, like I mentioned earlier, everybody's already gotten their paycheck for the week, especially at 10 o'clock on Friday morning. Everybody's already done and boogieing out for the weekend. So when a market moves pretty good, though, like this gas is, very high probability that it's going to close on its low. So that's something to consider. There's no momentum on this push down, though. You gotta be careful if you're trying to short gas here. This looks like it's been pretty baked in already. We would need to really push down into these low volume nodes. Here's the high volume node right here, 1681 at 3026. See if this market has it in it to push it down to yesterday 200. But I don't see any red on the dome. So that's about it. I appreciate your coming. My special gift would be to offer each one of you who came today, I've got your list going right here, a free week in the trade room. So if you would like to come back next week for an additional week, just shoot me an email and I will put you on the list all week. So we'll start every morning at 7:30 and end at 10:30, and hopefully do a little bit better, less chat next time. Well, I'll be more concentrating on markets versus explaining the solvers, but moving the solvers to moving the workspaces to the markets that are set up, so I can have a couple of different workspaces to flip around to, and see if we can find some markets that have some potential to keep pushing that range directionally. Here, this is turning around to the upside, going back into the value for the gas. And I would love to have you come back and maybe help participate in finding these market opportunities. I think the volatility is going to increase, maybe not so much until the election, but definitely after the election. But we'll have to take a look real quick and see what's on the calendar for next week. Let's see. Nothing Monday. But let's see what's happening overnight. Some Europe stuff overnight that could cause the euro and the pound to move. Tuesday, Red Book, home prices, consumer confidence. That can, give us some market movements. Wednesday, of course, crude oil inventories, new home sales. Not really big week for the data. Looks like it's a really good opportunity to trade the euro and the pound next week. GDP on the pound. Core durable goods orders, that's on Thursday. That'll be a good day. Maybe get some yen stuff happening. That's later in the day. GDP Friday. So the big day next week is Friday, our GDP number. So definitely, even if you don't come back every day, come back next Friday for sure. Get the calendar behind us and see if we can get some range expansions. I know that we can get some trend continuation trades, guys. It's just me getting the market up and holding it on a market. It'll be nice for me to get everything done that I want to do with showing these markets and having like a mechanism to signal the markets that are expanding their ranges and the price action is moving. I'm working on that. So thank you again. I do appreciate your time. And thank you for your kind words, Randy. Yep, absolutely. Just send us a email and I'll add you to the invitation list, all you guys. I appreciate it so much. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend and get some rest, get away from your trading screens, and go do something. That's what I'm going to do. Watch some football. So thank you very much, and we will see you next week. I appreciate it.